Good morning and welcome to Cambridge College. And as Deborah said, this is the future. This is where all the dreams of what created Cambridge College all those years ago are now going to double and accelerate at a speed that you have never seen under the leadership of President Deborah Jackson and because of the support of all of you. There were a lot of headwinds to get us where we are today, but this is an amazing building and you're going to hear and see more about it. So I'm going to give you a quote, which Deborah always laughs at, I'm known for, but you're going to get the spirit of what took us to get here today, since we decided that the building at 1000 Mass Ave no longer worked for us. And how did we honor the legacy of the former trustees and all of the friends of the college who got us that building on 1000 Mass Ave? We monetized that asset. And this is what you see today, in addition to now having a much larger endowment that will help students for generations to come. But there were people who were naysayers about that. And we got here today despite that because there were more of you who said this was important. And so the quote that I'm going to give you with said, fate whispers to the warrior, you cannot withstand the storm. And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm. Welcome to Cambridge College.
So thank you to Susan Eichel, who, if you don't know her, she is the chairwoman of the Board of Trustees of Cambridge College. She is also one of our alum, and we are very, very proud of her. She serves as the CEO of Neighborhood Housing Services in New York. So Susan is just one example of the many, many incredible graduates of Cambridge College who are changing the world wherever they are. So again, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here. And in any of the moments where we've had hesitation or where I'm feeling anxious, I remember this quote, and that's why I ask Susan all the time, please share it, please share it. Because in our hearts, we all encounter difficulties as we go through our journey of life, as do our students, and we have to remember at all moments, if you dig deep within, you are the warrior. So today we are here because we were the warriors who said we have to make this big change for the institution. I'm so far off script right now, and I need to just get back to what my message was supposed to be, but I just really get inspired by those words that Susan has shared with us. We are expecting Mayor Marty Walsh to join us. He says he's on his way, his advanced people, and Councilwoman Ayanna Pressley. So when they arrive, they will also have a few words. But let me just tell you a little bit about today. And again, starting with my deep appreciation for all of you showing up and being here with us. Many of you, again, supporters already of the college, friends of the college, and who are here because you have an interest in us and an interest in what we do for the students who we serve. So I want to talk for a few minutes about the significance of this building for Cambridge College and what it means for us and for our future. We moved in just over a month ago, and it was a journey. It was a culmination of a journey that began 3 years ago. For us, this new location is more than just a beautiful space. It is, in fact, the embodiment of the next phase of innovation and a student-centric mission on which Cambridge College was founded over 45 years ago. Since our founding, we have created opportunities for motivated students to pursue higher education, despite the fact that they have often encountered barriers and challenges to traditional pathways. Today, we're still true to our mission. Our students range in age from 19 to 60. They are often the first in their family to go to college. They have complex lives. They're working. They have family responsibilities. And they are balancing all of the demands on their time while still trying to gain a higher education and a degree. They're from diverse backgrounds, races, ethnicities, and countries. We are one of the most diverse college populations in the region. And I have to acknowledge our former Chancellor of UMass Boston, Dr. Keith Motley, because we share that with Keith. Wait. My brother and my friend. Thank you for being here, Keith. What they all share, no matter their background, no matter how they arrive at our front doors, is a thirst for knowledge and lifelong learning. They yearn for the skills and the understanding and the opportunity to get the credentials that will tell the world about their accomplishments and their excellence. and they find their way to Cambridge College. And within these walls, these beautiful new walls now that we've created, is where the magic begins. What we provide here is a transformational experience for our students that prepares them to succeed professionally in a globally competitive environment. They're not just competing with the professional down the street or around the corner or in downtown Boston. They're competing with excellence and professional abilities from people all over the world. And that's important for our students to understand. When they leave us, we send them to hospitals and schools, banks and tech companies, to nonprofits and to government all over this region. We send you, our best and our brightest, a graduate of Cambridge College. Essential to the mission and to this commitment to our students was that we have a space that would provide the best environment for our students and our faculty to do their most effective learning and teaching. This new campus is a manifestation of that commitment. This campus is an embodiment of that pledge to our students. This campus is more than just a building. Our new campus now provides for things that we simply could not do in our former home that we loved for over 25 years. We now have space to support not only existing programs, but program expansion. We have flexible classrooms with state-of-the-art technology that supports the different teaching approaches and learning approaches that occur in the classroom. It allows our faculty to do basic things like reconfigure the seating so that they can, in fact, teach the students in a way that makes the most sense for what they're teaching in the classroom. Our technology now allows us to connect more effectively with our regional campuses in Springfield, Lawrence, California, and Puerto Rico. And as you wander around, you will see in all the nooks and crannies these beautiful spaces. They are there for a purpose, not just for decoration. They're there to provide a space for students to gather in small groups, working on projects collaboratively. They're also there to provide students for quiet space and private space for studying or working on a project. And for some of our students, those spaces provide a little respite. They run in here coming from work. They are busy, they are hungry, they are worried about being late for class. And allowing them to get in with just a few minutes to spare, we provide spaces where they can just sit and breathe and sometimes take a little nap, which they need when they are balancing work and children and families. All of that was thought through very carefully and deliberately. We also created a hub to centralize and link all of our student support services in our academic affairs and our student affairs offices, advising, tutoring, coaching. We have it in an integrated program that we refer to as our Integrated Student Success Platform, at the center of which is our Center for Excellence in Learning and Teaching. You will see that as you take the tour. We also consolidated all of our student business operations, which were in separate offices and separate locations, into a one-stop center for our students. What does this do? It allows the busy student running in who needs to see the bursar and the registration, financial aid, to find out about their transcripts, to go to one place, one stop, and have all of those transactional needs addressed. You will see it as you walk around. It's a beautiful space. So we've made it easier for our students to navigate the fundamental required transactional interactions with the college. We also have new science labs to support the expansion of our science programs and to help support the training of science teachers for all of the many schools into which our science teachers go in the greater Boston region. And we produce some of the best science teachers in the system. We now also have multiple computer labs to prepare each and every one of our students for a world in which technology is essential no matter what profession you enter. With our new technology and capacity, we are now able to arm our students with the understanding of the impact of technology on their chosen field, and also with the skills to utilize that technology effectively. And some of the small things that may not seem much to us but matter so much to our students are amenities. We will have an on-site cafe in the space in which you just stood. We will have an on-site shop to buy gear and supplies, things that colleges take for granted that we've never had the space to do. We have ample parking, and I hope you had no difficulty parking. It was a huge barrier for our students. Again, time is their enemy. Time is their enemy. When you are rushing from downtown with 10 minutes to get to class, driving around for 20 minutes looking for a parking space was a huge impediment to their efforts to gain an education. So now they drive in, they get out, and they walk in the front door. A huge part of our decision to locate in this space. So all of those things came together in this location. I don't know if Chris Canup is in the room. Chris, are you here? He's not here. The Canup family, as you know, is the owner of the Hood Park complex. And we worked with Chris for over 3 years and really solidifying our decision to move here. And I'll talk more about that later, but that's what this space and this site provides for us. Not just a beautiful location, not just a beautiful building, though it is beautiful, but also all of those dimensions that I've talked to you about and how we support our students, our faculty, and our staff. So we invited you here today to see the fulfillment of a dream for a space that would support our vision for the future of Cambridge College, and one that also reflects the extent to which we value our students, our faculty, and our staff. Our new home, as I've said, is the foundation for the next chapter of the Cambridge College story. And as Susan said, it will be an exciting ride as we move forward. So now before I sit down, though, I also have to ask you and invite you to do something else. I ask you to look and read and pay attention to the material we put in your chair. Because in order to help us fulfill this dream of what will happen in this building and how the future will unfold for Cambridge College, we need your help. We need your time. We need your talent. We need your treasure. So we're asking you to join us. We're asking you to support us. If you are moved this morning or as you walk around the building, there's a card in there. We take credit cards. We ask you to make a commitment in many ways to the future of Cambridge College and to the students who we support from diverse backgrounds, first time in their family, coming back to get an undergraduate degree at age 37, just think about it. 2 kids at home and trying to figure out how they're going to manage childcare in the evening when they have to show up here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or do weekend intensives. We ask you to think about those students and how much your support will mean to them. We also ask you to think about committing time to us. We have a number of advisory councils. You can make a contribution. We have sitting in this room some of Boston's most accomplished professional, civic, and business leaders. You have a story to tell our students. You have a message to share. You have a story to tell about your profession and how you got there. Many of our students don't know how to take that journey. No one in their family has done so before them. So come and help us. Help us share with our students all the many ways they can pursue a professional and successful career, because you've all done it. We also have the opportunity for you to speak. Leadership speaking series, our CC Talks. We ask you to join us in some way to make this road easier for all of us who are doing our best for our students and the students that walk in the door every day at Cambridge College. In closing, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here. I want to share with you a quote from our Governor, Charlie Baker, who said, "One of the greatest challenges that the Massachusetts economy faces today will be the gap between the skills that are being developed in our colleges today and what our employers need." And there's a huge gap between those two things. Cambridge College is a major contributor to filling that gap. Our students stay local and they go to work in all of your companies. We invite you also to create opportunities for our graduates to talk to us about internships and partnerships. We need you to be here for us in the future, next week, next year, as you are today. So thank you once again. We look forward to working with our mayor, our city councilwoman, the city of Boston, and our new home, and building partnerships throughout this community and throughout the greater Boston region. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Oh my God. So the shock look on my face is that I was so busy looking out at the crowd, I did not see Councilwoman Ayanna Pressley here. You all know her, and I don't need to make a long introduction, but let me just say, one is that she's been a really wonderful friend to Cambridge College and had such excitement about us coming to Boston and being a part now of this community in a formal way. Most of our students come from the greater Boston region. That's one of the reasons we came here. But also the excitement of being a part of this community. So again, my commitment to work closely with Councilwoman Pressley and our mayors, they continue to address the educational challenges that we face in the city of Boston. But she's also been an amazing leader, I think, as you all know, really fighting the fight and standing up for always being on the right side of issues that are controversial. And at her heart, in her heart and soul, she shares what Cambridge College is founded on, and that is a commitment to advancing social justice. So I want to thank you for being here today, and I invite her to the platform to say a few remarks.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And thank you to our president. And I did just want to ask for a cleanup in aisle 1. I am battling an awful cold, and I just spilled my tea all over the floor, so I apologize for that. But I want to say congratulations, and I do want to say a word about our president. Deborah, I just want to thank you for being the embodiment of both grit and grace, for laboring in love every day on behalf of the Cambridge College community and the students here. You are resourceful and tenacious. Today is evidence of the fact that it is impossible to say no to you, because this mission is a compelling one. And so we thank you for your leadership. And I know our mayor will be joining us shortly. I see the state representative for this region, my friend in government, State Rep. Danny Ryan. Are there any other colleagues here? I know many people made today possible. My name is Ayanna Pressley. For those of you who vote and reside in the city of Boston, show of hands. I'll stay. For those of you who reside in the city of Boston, I've had the humbling honor now for 8 years of serving as one of your 4 citywide city councilors. I'm the first woman of color elected to the council, a humbling honor, although a very sad commentary that it took 100 years. I'm glad that I'm no longer the only. I'm also the founder and the chair of the Committee on Healthy Women, Families, and Communities, working on those issues that disproportionately and adversely impact women and girls, and on big social determinant issues. A little aspirational. I think it is possible to eradicate poverty. So we work on poverty, sort of the focus of the committee, to eradicate poverty, break cycles of violence in every form, and to reduce trauma in our communities. And in that, my agenda is one of anti-poverty. The chief way that we do that is to build wealth. And the chief way that we do that certainly has to do with access to education. It is cliche, but no less true, that education is the equalizer. That is certainly true, but we must never forget that although education is the equalizer, family is the stabilizer. And Cambridge College is supporting both of those. Because ultimately at the end of the day, our families are being destabilized for many reasons. And so I want to thank Cambridge College for its innovative model that is supporting individuals and families in their readiness to bring to bear their full contribution to the world. We bandy about terms, quite casually about diversity and inclusion. But in order for us to ensure a true inclusion in our economy and our workforce, it has everything to do with an investment, the development, and the readiness of every single individual in this Commonwealth. Not only does everyone in this city and this Commonwealth deserve to benefit from the prosperity of this city, they deserve an equity and opportunity to contribute to the prosperity of this city. And Cambridge College is setting every individual for whom life has gotten in the way and perhaps their education has been delayed, is setting them on a path to do exactly that. It pains me to say our former president, but our former president, Barack Obama, once said that our educators are our nation builders. And I couldn't agree more with that statement, because they build up our people who go on to build up our world. I love the social justice lens of this institution, and selfishly, I must admit, I am the beneficiary of this good institution. One of my senior aides, who is a graduate of Year Up, and a very resilient young woman who couldn't be here today because she's also sick, we're passing it around, in our office is a young woman who grew up in 22 foster homes. just overcame many challenges. And Cambridge College never, ever gave up on her. And this summer, she crossed that stage with a diploma. So can we just hand clap that? So as I was saying, sometimes life gets in the way. And so I want to thank Cambridge College for being that place to ensure that just because your dream of education, your commitment, your desire, your passion to wanting to better develop yourself and invest in yourself so you can support your family and bring to bear your full contribution to this world, just because that dream may be temporarily derailed, because of Cambridge College, that dream is never permanently deferred. And not only is this an institution with a social justice lens that honors diversity, that prioritizes innovation, that is accessible, that prides itself on excellence and rigor, I want to talk about two things that uniquely happen in this special ecosystem of a community that don't happen everywhere. And that is that people find community here. And that is so critical. And the other thing that they find here, and again, I know because I'm the beneficiary in my own office, I know what you are contributing to our workforce and our world, they find self-agency. And that self-agency is so critical to their self-actualization. And that is what happens here, because you create room and space for everyone, whatever their walk of life, whatever their family model, and you let them know that they matter and that they have something to contribute, And I just want to thank you for that. That is a very unique thing that happens here. We can hand clap on that as well. And so, again, I'll just close with this and just say thank you. Thank you so very much for recognizing that in order for us to reach our full promise as a city, as a commonwealth, as a country, we have to make that investment in supporting each person in their self-agency, in their self-actualization, in their education, in their empowerment, in order for us to reach the full promise of our world. And so I thank you for that contribution to all of us. And, and without further ado, the man of the hour, someone who fights for working class families every day, the very students of this esteemed institution, our mayor, the Honorable Martin J. Walsh.
Thank you very much, Councilor. I did not want to follow Councilor Pressley, I'll tell you that. But it's all right. It's all right. No, you're good. I want to thank you, Councilor, for your great work. I want to thank President Jackson, Susan, and everyone here at Cambridge College. I'm excited about this. I see my man Keith Motley in the audience. Chancellor, how are you, sir? When Deborah came to me about a year ago, right, and said, "I got some exciting news. We want to move Cambridge College to Boston." I was excited. I was pumped up. I was pumped up because of the opportunities, as the council spoke about, the opportunities in the school for young people and for older people to get an opportunity for college. I am pleased to welcome Cambridge College to the city of Boston in this neighborhood of Charlestown. It's a great fit. It's a great fit because we're a global city. And this is a global institution. We're talking about, and every day we talk about higher learning. And I was just outside. The reason I was late coming in, I was outside and I was being surrounded by the press to talk about Amazon and are we going to get Amazon and how we're going to do with Amazon and all this stuff. And they're talking about incentives and this and that. And honestly, we didn't get into incentives because we have institutions like Cambridge College in our city that's preparing young people for the jobs of the future. And those opportunities is our strength. And I want to thank Cambridge College about helping and continuing to build to that strength by adding countless numbers of young people and people that are going to get educated here to our great workforce that we have in the city of Boston. People that come here come from every neighborhood in Boston and beyond. Many of them, most of them are hardworking and resilient. a lot of them, college wasn't in the cards for them at the age of 18. Wasn't in the cards from the age of 22 or 32. But they had big dreams. They wanted to help and stay connected in their communities. I'm a product of Boston College Evening School. I went to BC nights because I didn't go to college in the daytime when I should have went because I wasn't ready for it. And I went back to college late in life. I got elected state representative, and then I went back to college in probably, I think, my early 30s. It took me a long time to get to college. But I got there because of determination of wanting to get a degree. Many of the folks that come here have that same determination. And, they're successful and they're going to do great things. We just, in the city of Boston, just hired, and Steve Hanover's here, but we just hired a new director of Office of Returning Citizens. We have an office now in the city. One of the first in the country. Is Kevin here? Kevin. Kevin Sibley, who's a graduate, got his master's degree here. And the Office of Returning Citizens is something that we're working on in the city of Boston, something the council is working on, something the Sheriff Tompkins is working on, and a lot of us are working on because when people get out of prison, they don't have a lot of options. And in some cases, they don't have a lot of pride. And Kevin's in this role as the director to help incarcerated men and women get their life back on track and let them know, even though they had a challenge or an obstacle in their life, that we can help them be proud of who they are as human beings and individuals. There's, not many people in this world haven't made a mistake in their life, or two, or three, or four, or five. Sometimes those mistakes lead to incarceration. Sometimes those mistakes lead to different places. But it's important for us to understand that second chances are important. This school is also about second chances. This college is about giving young people the opportunity to thrive and be successful. Boston is thriving, and our formula for higher education plus economic development is working right now. Our unemployment rate in Boston is 3.4%. However, in areas of Roxbury, it's 6%, in Dorchester, it's 5.6%, and in Mattapan, it's 5.4%. So we still have issues in communities, and Cambridge College opens doors for people to look at their careers. Cambridge College works on both sides of the equation when it comes to education and economic development. We're also thrilled to add adult education leader to the mix as we grow in the city of Boston. It's something that's tremendously important. Your presence could and will unlock new partnerships with universities, with employers, and with job trainings and nonprofits. And we're certainly excited in the city of Boston to partner with Cambridge College. And I think we're partnered already in different ways, but our collaboration is going to get even stronger. This university, this institution is going to be a vital link in today's landscape of opportunity that will help people achieve good careers and opportunities. We are proud to be a home college that makes such an impact to so many people and so many lives. As I look around the room here, I see a lot of people that are involved in a whole different aspects of life, whether you're attorneys or work for nonprofits or fought in the civil rights movement or run the Boston Center Youth and Families, different things. I look around this room. I've gone to a lot of celebrations at different college universities in Boston since I've been here in 4 years. And I'm not just saying this, I'm standing up here. As I look out, the impact of the people in this room individually has been powerful, but collectively has been massive. And I want to thank you for being here today because I know you understand the importance of the move of this college. I feel bad for the city leaving, kind of. But we didn't take you. You came here. We love it. All right. And I'm very excited about. Sorry, we took you a little bit. And we're very excited because as Cambridge College continues to follow its dreams as a college, the young people, the people that walk through that door and get an education will have an opportunity to follow their dreams. Not just follow their dreams, but live out their dreams. And at the end of the day, they'll make our city and our Commonwealth a stronger place. So again, I want to thank you, Cambridge College. Thank you, the Board of Trustees. I want to congratulate you on this exciting day in our city. And myself and the councilor and the rest of our city council and all the elected officials in Boston want to say welcome.
So I want to first of all thank both of you so very much. And In fact, when Cambridge was upset with us, we blamed it on you, just for the record. Mayor Walsh enticed us away. But this is an important part of why we're here also, this partnership with the City of Boston and all that it has to offer for our students, the employers, working again to help support Councilwoman Pressley's and our mayor's efforts to address K-12 education in the City of Boston. We intend to be an important partner in that. We have on our very own staff, Regina Robinson, who is a member of the Boston School Committee. So I want everyone to acknowledge her. She is our Dean of... Yes.
While we're doing this, I didn't see you, Regina, I'm sorry. Chief of Education for the City of Boston, Ron Dorsey's with us. Thank you, Ron, for being with us. Director of the Boston Center for Youth and Families, Will Morales, is with us today. Thank you, Will. I'm not sure if I see anyone else from the city, but thank you. There's a whole bunch of other people I can start giving shout-outs to. But thank you. I did give a shout-out to Keith Motley. I want to again thank Keith Motley for what he did at UMass Boston. It's amazing. We did a lot of the work together as a state rep at the time, and I was driving by last night, and I looked over UMass, and I saw that, you know, the dorms in the back are being built, the garage is being built, the science building is built, the student center is built, the academic building number 2 is built, the roadway reconstruction is still going on. All of that is his vision. So when people talk about UMass and the future of UMass Boston, when they talk about as it continues to grow as a great institution, it's growing because of the work that man right there did. So thank you, Keith Motley.
So before you sit down, I just want to present each of you with a token of our appreciation. And I think it's heavy and it's beautiful. But I want you to sit it proudly in your desk and in your office to remind everyone that Cambridge College is here. We have arrived. So thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you very much. One note in the spirit of acknowledging and collaboration. We've already acknowledged our wonderful former chancellor at UMass, but I have in the audience today also a couple of other college presidents who are so important to us because we do a lot of work in partnership with other colleges, and especially community colleges. Many of our students started their journey at a community college, and then they come here to completion. So I want to acknowledge the two who I know are in the room. One is our partner at Northern Essex Community College, President Lane Glenn. Please stand back, please. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for all the work we're doing together. And I think, Pam, are you in the audience? Bunker Hill Community College. We have here, thank you, the provost. So thank you. And I don't know if I'm missing any of my colleagues, other college presidents in the room. Please wave or representatives. Again, we work as please stand up. College. Can anyone hear? BNC, the relatively new president there, if I can say so. Thank you. I wanted to do that because it's so important what we do together as colleagues. We all do this for the same purpose because we believe in the importance of education in building futures. So I am always very excited and feel very warm when my colleagues show up, and especially when we have partnerships. So thank you again. So now, if you will indulge me, and we are wrapping up, but I have the pleasure of ending this program with a few acknowledgments, and they're very, very special ones. So I want to start first with thanking our Board of Trustees, and I want to ask the board members to stand up so everyone can see you. Susan mentioned the naysayers, but you have to fully appreciate it is not an easy decision to move an entire college from one city to another. It was a bold move, and our board was frankly courageous. we had all kinds of concerns, including the fact that our name is Cambridge College. And so I had a lot of people saying, now, what does that mean? Are you changing your name? No, because we have Cambridge College in Springfield, Lawrence, Puerto Rico, and California. So we are, in fact, in different levels. Now we're Cambridge College, Boston. But that was the easiest issue to address. There were many complexities. And this board really vetted this. This process began 3 years ago. This board, and I think all of us, any of us, no matter if we're in the corporate world, nonprofit world, in government, we know that any institution is only as great as its board is. Without a strong board, no institution can succeed. So our success is hanging on the really the talent and the commitment of our board of trustees. So thank you for the work you do on it. I promised them that they'll get a break over the next year because we've been working them to death in the past 2 or 3 years on this, but thank you. I also want to acknowledge members of my President's Council right here. Stand up for a minute. This is a group that belongs to the President. They serve as advisors to me. They operate like a kitchen cabinet and help with networking and resources, but also along this journey, advice that was really helpful to us as we were going along this path. So thank you all. Richard Snyder's not here, and Jerry Dentelon, our co-chairs. I also want to acknowledge faculty and staff. I need them all to stand or wave if they're not standing, please. They're along the walls in the back. We hear this all the time, but every day, day in, day out, we come in, the trains don't run if this team doesn't do their work. And they played a vital role in this process. We had committees to help us pick out and design every aspect of this facility. So thank you to all of you. I want to extend a special thanks to our IT team. Where's the IT team? Please wave. Under the leadership of our IT director, Chow, because this team is still working. When they leave this, they're going to run back there and continue working on all the things we have to do to put state-of-the-art technology in every place in this building. And our facilities team, John Della Chapa, where are you? And his team. Again, nonstop. They'll be working tonight. John, take a break. Okay. So I wanted to do those. And now I want to move on to acknowledgments of what we're calling our dream team, our project dream team. Everyone else you've heard about is part of a dream team, but our project dream team. So I'd like to ask Philip Page to join me on stage for this. For that spontaneous impromptu, and I'm going to ask Kevin to join me because we were going to do this at the end, but we got to do it now because we're talking about a team, and we've all heard, we all know the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it took a dream team to get us here, and we had a dream team. We're going to acknowledge them in a minute. We're going to end with this, and he didn't know, he was surprised, but this team had a quarterback, and that quarterback was Philip Page. I was lucky, and I like to think I was smart, that the first person I hired when I arrived 6 years ago was Philip Page. And it came highly recommended coming out of Northeastern. So he now spent several years in higher education, but Philip's way years ago background was as an architect. So when we decided to do this, I went to Philip. I came in one morning and I said, almost I had a dream last night. It wasn't quite that, but shared the thought that had been emerging, not just from me. And I said, if we do this, you have to be the project manager on it. You have to put aside everything else that's on your plate and just drive this. And that's what he did for the next 2.5 years, 3 years. And we would not be here were it not for Philip. And I can't state that strongly enough. And that's why when I called his name, our board members jumped up out of their seats first, and every staff member in this audience stood up because we have all witnessed his work. So, Philip, you have been the most amazing quarterback. I don't know how he does it because along the way we had a lot of tough decisions to make. Nobody was mad at him. So that speaks also to his character and his sensitivity and his warmth and his understanding. I had one of our deans say to me, he's so nurturing and supportive. He was making all the tough decisions, for the record, you guys. So if you got noticed something, it was Philip, not me. But nobody gets mad at Philip, and that's part of the genius and the brilliance of this guy. He's just been amazing. So we first want to present him also with a token of our appreciation and a tombstone just for you, Philip. These things are called tombstones because they are what's used in deal closings. All the business people out here know that. But also, I think Kevin has a little special for you in the spirit of being our quarterback.
I do. When Deborah summoned me to the board, yeah. Yes, you do not say no to Deborah. I assumed two responsibilities. One was to manage the expectations of the board and let this amazing team surpass them, which they did. And the second was to make sure that the ball was firmly in the hands of the gentleman to my left. And he carried that ball flawlessly. I remember saying to the board that he would be our TB12 through this process. So in that spirit, we have a little something for our own quarterback.
Okay, so now, Philip, let's go on. For the record, he's not available. Don't try to recruit him. Okay. I mean that. Kevin also chairs our real estate committee, which you failed to say, so thank you too, Kevin. So I want to just introduce, we can go through this, I hope quickly, but I do want you to see all the people who made every aspect of this work, who became a part of our dream team. I'm going to ask them to come on stage and just fill in up here so you can see how many of them are. And then we'll take a picture and then we'll have you be able to leave and go on tours. So let me start at the beginning. So there are three categories of partners who worked with us on this. And first, in the area of project planning, execution, and site acquisition, again, all the dimensions of deciding what we're going to do, planning it, and then the sale of our building. I want to start first with Lincoln Property. I'm going to ask John Miller, Executive VP, and Jeff Moore, Senior Vice President, to join me on stage. When we began this journey, and really it was a kernel of an idea, Lincoln Property was working with us as our broker on a lot of our rental property. And the first thing Philip and I did was sit and talk to them about the feasibility of this concept in terms of availability of property. And they worked with us over the next 3 years. They took us to see 30 different locations. They helped us with the analysis. And again, these guys have just been phenomenal. They are truly a member of the Cambridge College family, and they are also having nothing to do with what they did all along, but they're sponsors of today's event. So thank you so much, Jeff and John, for all that you've done for us.